This is my list today. It starts from here and goes on down. Let me see. Vanessa Blank, pickup, dry washer, clothes, Easter, WSM battery, Uta and Helga. Okay, let me start with my pickup. I think I figured out what's going on with my pickup. Maybe, of course, I've done that. Thought I've had it figured out for the past 3 or 4 days. Yesterday, I pulled the fuel tank off. I thought my little strainer at the bottom of the fuel pump was messed up, but it's perfectly clean. I've cleaned out the fuel filter. I've done just about everything I think of. Now, I tell you what I think is happening with it. Now, I had a little pinhole leak in the radiator, and it was spraying water all over the place. I think water was getting into the top of the throttle body and messing up the combustion process. Now, yesterday, I cleaned up the little pinhole leak in the radiator, put some silicone on it. I don't trust it, but that'll give me a few days to prove that's a problem, and I can get down to the wrecking yard and maybe pick me up another radiator if I can find one, because those are getting harder and harder to find. Which I can probably find something to fit that off Amazon. I wanted to pay a couple $100 for it. They got those Chinese-made crap radiators. But anyway, I'm going to try that. And if that works, I'll let you know. I'll make another video. Let's see. Let me cover Vanessa Blank. Now, let me start with Easter. Now, if you notice, Easter, shows an Easter bunny and all that. Now, there's a reason for that. Now, currently Easter is associated with the Christian holiday of the resurrection of Jesus. Now, initially, Easter was it was a pagan holiday. So from the celebration of spring. The winter was over, the crops are going to start getting planted, and they're getting warmer weather and that type of thing. That's what Easter started out to be. And then when Christianity was adopted into the Roman their beliefs, that it got associated with death and resurrection of Jesus, this association with Easter. And when you observe a holiday, religious or otherwise, try to understand the origins of it and the meaning and stuff on it. Let me get to a dry washer. Now, let me try this book. I've had this book for quite a number of years. I don't know if this guy's even around anymore or not. It's Sam, because he looks my age now, and this book's probably 30, 40 years old. I don't know if he's still going on. He may still be around. But anyway, these are plans to build various pieces of gold mining equipment. Now, I wanted to build a dry washer for a number of years. You can buy them. I wanted to build one, not kind of like a puffer box. Now, there's plans for building one like of a 5-gallon bucket, where you can take the bucket, cut it in half, use part of it, for the material feeder, the other half of it to hold your riffle table, with baffles in there. You've got a fan at the bottom that shakes, that vibrates the dirt all the way down to the bottom. That puffs air through there. Now, instead of powering this thing from a leaf blower, I'd want to have a 12-volt DC motor I could power from some solar panels. Just get some of the cheapy panels, used panels, get enough of them to power this thing. I'd want to build it, test it around here first before I take it up on some of the claims. Now, what I'd probably do is rejoin the GPAA and hit up some of their claims up in the Bradshaws. Or maybe if some chick is a member of one of the Cubs, maybe she's a Roadrunner or Gold Prospectors or one of the other ones, and wants some guy to go with her just to have an extra guy to go along. Hey, I'd love to do that. I'd love to hit up some of the claims just to see what you're finding in there, just to see some of your secret spots. Now, I wouldn't give away if I did. I'd want to make some videos, but if you've got a secret, gold, your honey hole that's full of gold, I wouldn't get. I would respect that. I wouldn't give I'd go hit up again, but I wouldn't give it away. I wouldn't let other people know that your secret spot. If some chick wants to share that with me, probably not. But anyway, I've got some plans on building a 12-volt DC powered dry washer. Covered Easter, WSM batteries. Now, WSM, that's Western Sales Management. That's Western Sales Management. That's an auction place down there on 67th Avenue. You can walk in there any day that's open, like 8 to 5 or 8 to 4, whatever their hours are. You can walk in there and just go around. It's auction staff. They've got auction it's like the second Saturday of each month. But I'm just wondering. I was watching some of these videos on the battery powered stuff, on the brand new stuff. I'm just wondering, when the battery powered stuff hits the auction market, what the prices are going to go for. I'm wondering what's because it's got to be a vehicle that the batteries are crapped out on it. I'm just wondering what the DIY process of replacing your own batteries. What else involved? The legalities of buying something used like that, and then redoing your own batteries, because the lithium-ion batteries are a major fire risk. So you got to be real careful when you're handling them and installing them and stuff like that. Those packs are, or if you're driving a battery pod, they've had quite a number of cars, here in the valley because of the heat. I mean, it gets hot here in Phoenix, the Phoenix metro area. They've had quite a number of electric-powered vehicles that just catch on fire just because of the batteries in there. And you can't put water on them. That's water. Putting water on a lithium-ion battery fire is like putting gasoline on a regular fire. They got to drop them. The fire department, has these special boxes full of sand. They just drop these cars in sand and let the sand smother the fire. That's the only way they can put them out, because there's such such high density energy in these batteries. That's why they're designed. But when they catch fire, and but I'm just wondering what is involved in buying a used battery powered vehicle that you got to replace the batteries on it. Let's see. Pick up Vanessa Blank. Now Vanessa Blank has Vanessa Blank has 2 YouTube channels. One is Wild Woman Bushcraft, and Vanessa Blank. One's in English, one's in German. She does pretty much repeat videos in both languages, and I really like the fact that she does that, because she's trying to pick up a really broad audience in 2 different languages. But anyway, just wonder if Vanessa would ever want to come to the U.S. She was in Vegas once for for one of their gun shows they had up there in Vegas, in Las Vegas. I don't know why she didn't plan to do a little bit more here in the U.S. Of course, I'm thinking she probably just got a very, very limited time visa to hit the U.S. I just wonder if Vanessa would ever want to do any bushcraft stuff with me. Of course, she, being from Germany, being from a much colder climate, she probably wouldn't care for our 120 degree summers. Now, Vanessa, if you're watching my videos, 120 degrees Fahrenheit is like 50 degrees Celsius. And I know those Europeans, when it hit 30 degrees Celsius, the Europeans are bitching about the heat. But it's very real. We do get 50 degrees Celsius summers here, which is a bit toasty if you're not acclimatized to it. Let's see if I covered everything here. Yeah, Vanessa, if you want, maybe you want to hit up our winter sometime, because our winters here in the valley are really super nice. That would be the time to come now, because it's nice now, but it's gonna get hot in a few weeks. Let's see, for Uta and for Helga. Uta, I don't know. I'm trying to tell Uta nie wieder for Frau Helga. Yeah, let's go do a Geisterjäger video, Frau Helga. Hey, come to US, do a Geisterjäger video with me. We can hit up some spots that no other team has ever hit up. We'll do a Geisterjäger video from that site where those 19 firefight, the Yarnell Hill fire. It's been about 10, 15 years ago. We can do an overnighter out there. Hey, Frau Helga, if you want to spend the night with a red-blooded American boy, let me know. Without any extracurricular activity. Yeah, we'd have to talk on that. Let me get to my clothes. I forgot about that. Now, let me show you. Let me start with the t-shirt so I don't, I smell it. It smells like oil and gasoline. I've got about 4 t-shirts that look like this. I got my sweater on now, but I'm ready to take it off. This is a t-shirt. I save clothes just to do mechanic work. And when I'm all done with this mechanic work, I got to get a bucket and fill it with soap and do some pre-soak. Let me show you my pants. Now, there's going to be a few housewives out there, or for Frau Helga and Uta and Vanessa, Hausfrau. That is a real word. Hausfrau is a real word. But anyway, it's housewife. The equivalent in English is housewife. But anyway, for you chicks that have to do guys' pants and t-shirts, now I do my own clothes because I don't have a Hausfrau. But you can see these. God, these smell like sweat and grease and oil. But anyway, yeah, these guys. Once I'm done. I saved these just to do mechanic work. Probably simpler just to go over to Goodwill and buy a pair of pants for about $4. Hit them up on a Tuesday when they're 25% off for us older Americans. Anyway, for Vanessa, Uta, and for Uta, I say nie wieder Uta. Es gibt mir gut ohne dich. For everybody else, leben Sie wohl, auf Wiedersehen, y vaya con Dios. Ciao, bye.